All right, guys, welcome back to Trapod. Today it's not quite as serious of a video. It's more fun. It will still have a political aspect to it, but we're going to discuss two movies that a lot of people are interested in. So we're going to discuss Black Panther and Wakanda Forever. And we're going to do that through a political lens because there's a lot of interesting aspects to those two movies that I think people probably don't think about that often and really should, because obviously, I mean, it's no secret that a lot of the interest in especially Black Panther originally was that it was a all black cast for the most part, a black lead character, a black superhero, so there were a lot of exciting things for the black community. Now, the what we're going to look at is whether the black community really should be supporting Black Panther and Wakanda Forever. Okay? So, let's start with Black Panther. Why would I say that maybe they shouldn't be supporting the Black Panther as a role model, or a Wakanda as a place that they would want to be a part of? Okay? Now, the reason I say that they may not want to is because if you really boil down Black Panther is a monarchy. Okay, so it is kings, queens, princes, and princesses. Okay, it's very sexist if you really think about it. The females are soldiers, but they are not considered for, you know, leading the country. It's that gets passed to the sons. Now, additionally, the sons have to do physical battle with each other in order to become the Black Panther. So there's a lot of things in that are not don't really align with especially Black American views, because most 90% plus of Black Americans identify as liberal or Democrats. Now, these are very anti-liberal and anti-democrat policies, but it goes further. Now, in order to even be considered for, Black Panther, or to be the king, you have to be of a pure bloodline. Now, does that sound familiar to anybody else throughout history? Viewing a certain group as a superior blood, a superior race, a superior bloodline, all of that stuff. Does Nazi Germany set off any bells here, guys? It's pretty blatant. So additionally, okay, so we go even past that. It's like, okay, so we got kings, queens, monarchies, basically fascism, superior races, all this stuff going on, okay? Now, add to it that the country itself views themselves as the only country worth protecting. They're a very nationalist country, okay? They have a wall, basically a dome surrounding the country so nobody can get in and corrupt their nationalistic ideology. Now, on top of that, when an individual does try to do that and is actually Wakandan and tries to, basically reclaim his blood right, he is basically, he's villainized. He's turned into the bad guy. And what they view as bad is that he wants to basically arm the rest of the Black people in the world who are unable to protect themselves. He wants to help them fight off their oppressors. And in Wakanda, this is considered an awful idea. Terrible thing to do. How dare you share our secrets? How dare you help non-Wakandans in anything in life? Very, very nationalist ideology. Okay? So with all that, it'd be pretty weird for Black people to really support this. Let's put it this way. Easiest way to explain it. If all the Wakandans were white people, one, this movie wouldn't have come out. They would have been like, absolutely not. This has so many white nationalist undertones. There's no way we can release this. But because they're black, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we can do this. It's fine. It's not a big deal at all. It's very, very politically driven. Now, on to the second movie, Wakanda Forever. Now, in Wakanda Forever, they managed to make it worse. And I'm actually surprised that somebody didn't get fired for this. So the main villain in Wakanda Forever is a Mayan guy. So Mayans from Mexico. This Mayan guy lives in the water. He can breathe in the water and he can breathe outside of the water. But in order to breathe outside of the water, his skin has to remain wet. Okay? Now, think about this. He wants to get into Wakanda because Wakanda is, so rich and they're technologically advanced and they're this amazing place that everybody wants to get to. Very similar to a country, the United States. Now, in order for him to get into Wakanda, he has to come out of the water. The Mexican guy has to come out of the water and get past this barrier, which could also be called a wall, in order to get into the promised land. Let me say that again. A Mexican man has to emerge from water only to be met by a wall in order to get to a better life in a technologically advanced country. Now, I'm not going to say the word that people have used over many, many years about Hispanic people, especially from Mexico, coming to the United States. But it references water and the backside of somebody's body. Okay? Now, I know you may be thinking, maybe that's a little bit of a stretch. Not really. Not really, if you think about it. Because stay with me on it a little bit, just for a little bit longer. So in order to defeat this man, what they have to do, and they acknowledge this, is they have to dry his back. They have to dry his back off. That's how you beat the Mexican man who crossed the wall into your country. They have to dry his back off, and then they can kill him, or then they can defeat him. They do it through fire. They burn his back. Yeah, that happens in the movie. It's so incredibly offensive, and nobody's thinking about it because all they can see is, all they can't see past is the color of the Wakandans. They can't see past that they're black people, but everything else is either has Nazi, fascist, American, conservative, Republican, nationalistic undertones. Everything about those two movies has nothing but the exact message that every liberal and Democrat absolutely hates. Absolutely hates. Everything Wakanda stands for is what every single black person on this earth can't stand. It is crazy that we are supporting this movie. Because like I said, if you swap out black people for white people in this movie, it is one of the most racist movies ever to exist on this earth. I didn't even mention that Wakandans literally go like this to identify who they are and their superior race, similar to another country, Germany, how they had a hand gesture to signify their superior race. There's just so many parallels to this. It's just crazy to me. And nobody cares because the main characters in Wakanda, it's filled with black people, so nobody wants to admit that it is incredibly offensive and 100% a nationalist movie.